Ascension Pioneers, and welcome to my light activation. Today is a very special day. It is a 3-3 day, and I'm recording this activation in a beautiful outdoor space. It's not cold, it's very beautiful, sunny, and I have my tea, which is very good. It's brought the whole bunch. And I really wanted to record something that would help us as a collective of ascending souls in this new reality during this cycle of transition. So this month of March, I already explained a bit about in my Riding the Cosmic Waves video, Ascension Update, and I explain how this can affect us depending where we are in our path. But this activation specifically will be most beneficial for the first wave of Ascension, because I'll explain a bit further on why. And yet anyone can do it, but it will, how it is, we're at each initiation where we are. So the most effect for us is where we are now when we do any kind of work of light and really dedicate ourselves to it. So what's happening is, like I said, we're going through a major transition, and this is almost like that Scorpio energy when you go to the very last steps in order to rise up again, to become the phoenix and really become your own sovereign, your own spiritual integral personality fused with your soul. But what's happening is, because of these galactic changes and these pushes of energy, and we have some cosmic rays again and solar activations taking place, is they're pushing this. So these last parts of resistance within us. So this will be especially focused on your body well-being, because your body is your vehicle for ascension. If there's still places in our body that are feeling a bit discordant and where we have pain or trapped energy because there's still a part that's resisting, anything that we have, let's say a specific pain in a specific area, shows us where we still hold control. So this applies for everybody, including myself. And to be in control, it's not something negative. It just means that there's a part of us that maybe still doesn't fully trust the divine, life to guide you, life to support you always, that you are aligned, that you are walking your sovereign path, and that you are in alignment with your greater good. So a lot of times there's these parts of us that will show us. It can be one or more parts. So be really honest, move into your body, let that part of the body show you where there's still resistance, because that resistance will cause almost like a dense energy field. And because this galactic cycle is now, it's completing and a new one is beginning at the end of this month, it's almost like we're passing through a new age of initiation, and because of that, the initiations are more intense, and what you're feeling in your body might be intensified. Especially the first wave, it's almost like the wave of beings who have been holding so much within them. They've been holding this immense, sometimes, sense of responsibility for being here, or isolation, or anything like that, because they were paving this way, for future generations. And there might be a sense of this burden somewhere in your body, wherever it is, it will show you. And what we're going to do in this activation is we're going to allow the divine to show us how to really embody this, how to release and let that go, because a lot of times we already do have guidance, we do have awareness on what's really taking place. And how Spirit showed me is, if you have something in your body that's feeling discordant, and there's pain, or physical, feeling physically not well, how maybe you used to be very fit, very well, now you feel something happening, and we have that grand cardinal alignment, last one, that's culminating again towards the middle of the month, around 17. And this again, why things are so intense, is shown in that alignment. So it's almost like that Pluto energy, which is the same as the Scorpio energy, is really is initiating us. And I'm constantly getting these messages of resurrection and then rebirth. So first we die, we resurrect, and then we rebirth ourselves. But it's not the physical of that, it's the death of our old self. It's maybe something that worked on one level for us, or that was true for us, but it no longer is. That's why we need to let it go. If it's burden, it will be reflected in physical pain sometimes when it reaches the culmination. And sometimes they say it gets the darkest before the dawn. It's because now it's the most intensified, because it's pushing up, it wants to be released. So imagine you having this pressure or a sense of greater responsibility, than the people you've known in your life because you were more aware about things, or the things that you knew, or anything that you've held somewhere in your body. Imagine years and years of that being so. And now all of a sudden this all starts to free up. Of course, pain will follow, things will follow. So what Spirit showed me is that it's both because of the galactic cycle itself and our own personal experience. So it's both because we are a part of this galactic cycle. So we're also experiencing it, going through and surrendering what really is no longer serving us. We're shedding this skin, this identity that worked maybe in the Piscean age, you know, serving others in a certain way, and being there and being sacrificial, and all these things. But now they're changing. We're moving into the Aquarian age, which is more about freedom and showing others how to live a life of full freedom and empowerment. And that's why a lot of these things that we've held in our subtle bodies, not just the physical body, but are now showing us where this took place. So let's say it's the back. You know, back is that support of life supporting you. So maybe not trusting fully, you know, you're the one in charge, you're always the strong one, and then maybe one day you crack. You're like, why did I crack? Because it's like almost this identity we built around something that was really strong for us. And I'm not saying it wasn't true for us at that time, because if we experienced it, it already was true in a way. You know what I mean? Because we create our reality. So now these alignments are helping us to push that out, to dissolve it into the light of our new self. And like I said, sometimes we don't always know how to do that. And we're so used to only thinking we need tons of work, tons of spiritual activations or whatever it is, that we actually make progress in our bodies. But the new is all about sometimes just unburdening, just letting go, just, you know, maybe seeing yourself in a totally new light that you've never seen yourself before, so that this new cycle in your body can also take place. So imagine Earth is rebirthing itself. Your whole body is rebirthing itself. So where there was still energy that was, like I said, densified, and now it's pushing up. So if it seems like it's getting worse, it's actually getting better, because before it was dormant and it was controlling you from the hidden realms. So now it's coming up. It might not be pleasant. And as you know, with all things that are in the process of healing and recovery, it's just, you know, we need to trust that the masters of the self, that our bodies have all the intelligence that we actually need to self-heal, to be coming from a space of wholeness. But don't be, you know, judging yourself, saying, oh, you know, I should already be feeling so good because I'm ascending, or this and that. You know, the body, the physical level, as I've shared many times before, is always the last one to follow, to go through that change. So this last grand cardinal cross is all about, it's the body that's shifting. You know, we had these crosses were almost like, each one was on a different level of our spiritual perception and existence. So now this last level, it's almost like Spirit shows me, it's the body level, it's the physical level. The first thing that I really want to show you before we start is have some tea, so they don't have the dry throat. And it's this card. Today I don't usually use these, but Archangel Raphael cards, because I felt there's so much of this, and especially because people who are experiencing this maybe are feeling bad, you know, and somebody's not. They feel, why am I feeling worse? You know, if I did so much self-work, and I devoted also myself so much already to my personal ascension, and I've always been there to assist, and I've always did this, so why me? And others are not experiencing that yet, so they might have this feeling they're doing something wrong, and they're like retrograding, and Spirit says no. It's not that, you know, we're supposed to suffer or anything like that, but, you know, coming in this body, especially those volunteer souls who came here to really volunteer to serve humanity and its transitioning cycle. Remember, each transition, it's a literal death. You know, when you go through a death in the body, it's sometimes, you know, when you just die, it means when you do it spiritually, when you just really go to another plane of existence, it doesn't always have to be painful. You're just gone. Your consciousness moves to another level. But in the body, imagine really physically dying in the body and being rebirthed. Sometimes it's really not that simple as in how we interpret it. So I wish to give my heart to all those of you who think that about yourself, who tell yourself, you know, that you're not spiritual enough, or you're not good enough, or not worthy enough because you have these experiences that maybe others are not. And you know, you were holding so much light for so many beings, and we don't always see what spiritual means. We don't always see everything that's unfolding on a higher scheme of things. We see very limited lens perspective. So we have this perspective, but it's not the whole. So when you're looking for that self-compassion, find that space when you just, even though you might not consciously be aware of it or see it or know everything about it, about the process itself and where you are, and you know, the work that you're doing on other levels and supporting humanity in this transition, at least going as deep into yourself that you find a space where you know this without needing, you know, to see it, to have that proof. Just enough is that knowing. It's enough. So the first thing was that, and the second message was this, which came today, was Jesus, the divine healer. But it's not about Jesus, this card. I know I'm laughing because so many people say Jesus loves you, and it's almost like he's the only being of light that's there for us. You know, there's numerous amounts of beings of light who serve the white universal brotherhood. I'm sorry, I'm a bit drunk from the sun, so pardon me for my words, not perfect. So here it says, Dear Jesus, thank you for your divine healing power and presence. But what Spirit shared with me today about this is to remember our Christed nature above all else, to not forget who we are in our creation self, even if when we experience these difficulties or whatever it is, because when we don't identify with them, we can shift much faster. So I'm going to show you the image, because what's here for me very obvious is the presence of Seraphim. And you know that my new webpage will be all about Ascension and Seraphim, our creation core self. And you can see this here. And it's the Seraphim is one with Master Jesus here. You know, we can all relate to Joshua and his initiations, but we're doing them in a different way now, because he was serving in a different era that we're in now. And this Seraphim being here with the golden white light reminds us to really find that core creation self of our presence and let that harmonics descend into us, because we were created through that harmonics. And you know, we're going to have the short light activation, but I wish to remind you that my new page will have so many light activations on this topic, because I'm going to move more into that to really support us on a higher level as well. So stay updated for that. But I feel here it's really important that we do that. You know, so many times when there's something in our bodies that we either don't like, or we say, I'm experiencing pain, and we're resisting it, and we say, I don't like it, instead of really being one with it. And I've made a video about this before, but it's almost like that the song, the unique soul song that created us, it has the power to bring everything into alignment. The forces of nature as well, you know. A lot of times, you know, it's just who I am. I need to be all the time, whenever it's possible, outside in nature, to be with the elements, to be around water. And this is a very special sacred time, because we're going to have this week towards the end, full moon in Virgo. It's my sun sign. And Virgo is that purifier. It also, that purity, that resurrection that releases you. When you're pure in your essence, then everything that is still resisting will be already absorbed in that purity, almost something like that. So Virgo is a lot about this detoxification and purity and resurrection as well, because it's that virgin self of us that it's rising back up. So there was these few messages that I was guided to share before we do the short activation. And please be patient with me with the new upcoming webpage, because there's a lot of work that I was guided to do. And you know, sometimes these greater things, greater life chapters need much more time to blossom and prepare. The bigger it is, the more dedication to it. And I'm not one that does things very flat. I like to do it with richness and depth, so sometimes it just is what it is. I'm trying to get myself really comfortable here. And what we're going to be doing, the visualization that I got today when I was running, was almost like that, because of this let's say, identification with a certain role, as you might call people like light workers or star seeds, indigos, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. But let's say that this identification brought certain responses within certain individuals, how they really walked on this plane of existence. So there was a lot of this cocooning and isolation, and there's still people who are saying, I don't have others that match me, that are like me, you know, I'm gonna not survive in this world. And they're kind of creating this pain or resistance around this label. And what Spirit shows me is we need to be free of that, because what we're becoming is just beings of pure freedom. We express what we express at any given moment, in any given timing, how we're guided. We share from the heart. We don't need identification such as that. You know, I'm a light worker, I'm a healer, I'm this, I'm that. We can attune to any frequency, and what comes through us is our Christed nature. You know, somebody comes to you, you're not even of service to them as personally, but it's just the service of creation in this great mirroring that's unfolding through love. So, you know, these identifications or personalizations that we have that are not within purity, so that is where the Seraphim came in the reading, because the Seraphim are all about your true creation self, our true core creation self, which has none of these identities. It is unique and it is personal, but it's not unique through, you know, needing that identification. So let's say I'm in a certain environment, but I don't like it, and I start identifying with it, and sooner or later I'm going to feel restricted, because I'm identifying where I am and who I am with the environment, instead of being my light wherever I am, in whatever kind of conditions, and trusting that with that already things are moving. They're always in movement. They're not static, and I'm not a victim. Yes. So how Spirit showed me is that there was a lot of this cocooning. So in this activation, we're just going to slowly start to peel off of that last cocoon stage. You know, it's almost like before you came to this planet of existence, and if you came to serve, you said, wow, these are sometimes harsh conditions, so I'm going to first build this cocoon around, and now this is almost like dissolving. It's ready. We are ready because a new cycle awaits, and this cycle is all about pure freedom. So last sip of tea and we start. I hope to get it shorter than usual, but whatever it is would be perfect. So get yourself comfortable in your sacred space, whatever that is for you, whether it be nature, you know, whether you listen to this, whether you look with your eyes open or closed, it matters not. It's all about your conscious perception of what's taking place within you. So if you're able to that with your eyes open, it's fine as well. Remember, there's no rules. It's how we're guided to do things. It's all about our own I amness, how we experience things. So, okay. Take a deep, relaxing breath. And this time, we will breathe the light of pure pink. Pink, that soft pink of compassion. And we will see ourselves almost like in a cradle of the divine. Like we're rocked in that beautiful cradle, and all around us is this bubble of pink light. We're almost like in our own nursery. And there we are, connecting with our true nature. And when we look around with conscious observance, we see there are seraphim angels present, those who sing all life in creation into being, into existence. And we're going to see that beautiful, completely pure. It has no labels yet, it has no attachments, it has no senses of great responsibility or heaviness. We're going to connect to that part of us. And we're going to put a hand on our heart. And we're just going to say out loud to ourselves, it's almost like ourself to the self. Sometimes the body feels this pressure because it can't handle, you know, this light and all-knowing presence of the higher self. But it can. So put your hand in your heart and say, I'm now ready to live my true, pure innocence, without any filterization, duality, separation, a sense of false responsibility and commitment to things that are not really of my own nature, and still see that pink, soft light all around you. It's protecting you, it's always supporting you, you're always in that beautiful cocoon. You just see that divine baby that you are, that divine birth state of you that's always pure and magnificent and full of potential. And also say to yourself, now I am ready to live my higher potential without a sense of false burden, in full freedom and the essence of my true soul nature. Now what we will do is we will see how that soft nursery divine babe self is almost like descending. It's almost like descending from our heavenly realms into our body. So you see how this pure, innocent, benevolent, unattached, unlabeled part of you, your divine birth self, starts to merge with your physical form. And when it starts to come, it might encounter certain obstacles. Because imagine that you, in this plane of existence, in this body, have built around yourself almost like these layers, like a cocoon. Now, as this pink, soft, beautiful bubble of love and light wants to push through, it needs to go through all these levels. And although it has the power to permeate through anything because it's pure love, we still, from our physical perspective, we need to meet it halfway. So now imagine yourself, bring your consciousness to your physical self, to the body. This pure pink, benevolent bubble of love is always there, it won't go away. It's always there. It's eternal. So now as we move our consciousness to our physical body form, we imagine that from our root, a beautiful red sacred rose begins to grow out. And this rose is a sign of rebirth. And this rose from our base, which is the kind of like the essence of our physical well-being and prosperity in our body form, this rose will help us by opening its petals to open these cocoon layers. So it's almost like you see your base, when you move your consciousness to your base, see that beautiful, deep, passionate red rose. First is closed, and then see how it starts to open its petals, one by one. This rose, as it's opening, it has the power, through complete divine perception, to unveil all the other layers that you hold still there as something residual, something densified. And now ask this rose to show you when it starts to open, and you see also yourself as unveiling these layers of cocoons. You're safe, you're ready now, you're ready to open, you're ready to become fully transparent, fully blossomed. Now ask this rose to show you where in your body this density is at its maximum point. And when it shows you, move your consciousness there and just whisper or say out loud to that part of you how much you love it, how much you hold no judgment for whatever is taking place. Just send pure, benevolent, unconditional love to that part of you. Take a deep breath and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. But don't just say it. Truly feel it. And if you can't feel it, ask the sacred rose to help you, to bring you that compassion, to bring you that understanding that you need to move forward. And say to yourself, to that part or to many of these parts, you can do this exercise whenever, however, that you're ready to fully open up, that you're ready to move out of your cocoon, and that you no longer need these layers because your divine self is now in charge. It's merged, and it wants to be merged fully. It's almost like that last streak that you need to be fully merged, to fully blossom, to fully resurrect and rebirth. So take some time with some breaths to scan your body for where this might be. Is it your back, your shoulders, your knees, is your head? Just see. You have your inner vision. It doesn't have to be very specific. It can just be a feeling. And let that feeling guide you and show you. Maybe in one exercise you'll only work on one part. When you repeat it, maybe it will be another one. Just bring your conscious presence to that part. That's how we do things. With conscious presence, we illuminate things. We help them to be fully in the light of our true self. So take some time to just breathe and observe, and then ask these body parts for a message. And then when they give this message to you, just offer them your understanding. Say, I understand. Yes, body. Maybe it wasn't always easy to catch up with the fast, hyper spirit that I am, or with the responsibilities that I have undertaken, maybe as a volunteer soul. I understand, body. It's been a lot of light to handle in this current state of awareness and density that was on this planet, and I understand. Remember, your body comes of earth, so when you really offer your body that understanding, and you tell your body that you understand, and maybe you weren't always there for it the way, the body wanted it, but you did your best, and your body did its best too. So just see this beautiful exchange of energy taking place. When your awareness, your conscious presence, and your body begin to unify through that love that's taking place now, that's blossoming while you're actually having this intimate monologue, dialogue, experience, whatever you may wish to call it. Just offer yourself that final piece of the puzzle, that forgiveness, that compassion, that understanding. It's not just you giving your body understanding or vice versa. It's mutual. It's a mutual reception. And now when you do so, you thank your body for engaging in this beautiful exchange with you. Ask that all be for the purposes of greater divine love and action and form. And then you see how a part of you already decocooned itself, how you unveiled a layer. Whatever it was something toxic. It was a sense of false responsibility or commitment, or being inauthentic, or, doing too much, or putting false pressure, or feeling stressed. Whatever it is, your body, remember, was always your first companion in that. It always dealt with the same things you did. So it was always a shared experience. So you offer each other it compassion, and through that compassion, unification is born. And when you are in unification, that means that the galactic changes and all that is higher in nature can more swiftly work through you because you're in alignment. You're not scattered. You are really completely aligning the vertical and the horizontal. So as this takes place, take a deep breath and see how that pink divine child of yours, that divine birth, your true origin, starts to move more smoothly into your body now because you've opened up a layer. Or you've opened up completely, however you feel in your body. Just go with the feeling. Don't pressure, don't make assumptions, just let it be. And let the feeling that tells you how things are guide you. The feeling is your best friend. So the body is the one that's also ascending. So the body goes through these changes. And as your true creation self moves more into your body, these changes will be more and more natural, spontaneous. You can have spontaneous healings. But the only reason why we're still not having them completely is because we're not at the level of receptivity for that to occur. So we're doing in this activation, receptivity activation for that to occur more naturally, if that makes sense. So as you feel you've done the sacred attunement, you see how that pink bubble of love, that essence starts to more radiate through your soul. And the whole idea is for that it reaches the core, the root of your being. So if you feel, it's not fully yet, and you can repeat the exercise and maybe work with another layer, another level. Or either way, you can always repeat it. And then move again to that rose and see, visualize, even if you can't feel it yet, how that pink core merges with the rose, the red rose that is at the very bottom of your existence, the very template, the root of your physical existence, and how they fuse together as one. And then even though you can't feel it yet, just visualize that and accept that as your truth in the new ascended reality. And take a deep breath and see that merge, kind of like interlock. And send your whole body an immense dose of gratitude and grace. Your body is your best companion. And you treat it with love, and your body sends you that love back. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope this was as beautiful for you as it was for me. And like I said, it's time to really be compassionate. It's sometimes this almost like the last push can feel like almost the hardest, but remember that it's only a feeling of that, because on each level we're also stronger. So of course, as we move deeper into our self-mastery, the initiations might seem, wow, overwhelming sometimes even. But we also have greater awareness that, can go through those initiations very easily. It's only the mind that sometimes says, So we're bringing more divinity, and through that we're anchoring that sacred trust and being more in flow with life, so that we are not so much in control. And we all still do that sometimes because we're used to it. Our bodies were used to it. But now it's time for that greater divinity to almost like be so naturally flowing through us that, we all experience moments like this. Some even experience it most of the time already. But there's still moments when we don't. And these moments are not to be denied, because they show us what's still in our ascension is shifting, where they're still unfolding and blossoming to be performed. So enjoy, take care. Sending you so much love from this beautiful sacred nature retreat. And I'm going to show you a bit of the water towards the end. And that's it for now. So much love, wisdom, and power. Bye.